Right, okay, so this is just a quick video to explain how Visual Studio works. So I've created a project here. I'll show you how to do that. If you just open up Visual Studio Community Edition, which is what you want to install Visual Studio Community. If you go to File and New, you create a new project. You can choose here what kind of project you want to create. We're just going to do a .NET Core console app. So you click on that. Go on next, they'll ask you to create a name, so then just create a name, and then you go on create, and it'll create your project for you. So you'll have your project by here, Kieran Vars, I've called it just to show you a couple of examples with variables. The name of the solution that we've created is Kieran Vars as well. So a part of our project are these two items here, a .cs file, which means it's a C# class. So it's a class in the language of C#. So you can create other projects for your solution. If I went here and went add new project, it would create a new project. But we're just going to be using this project for now, Kieran Vars. So if I go to program, you can see here we've got namespace, which is the name of our solution, Kieran Vars. So everything included in our solution is included in the namespace. And the name of our class, program.cs, right here, our C# class. And we've got static void main string args, which basically just means if you press play up by here, it'll run through this code here. So you can see I've got a couple of variables. I've declared a variable A, which is 2, the integer, variable B, which is 2, another integer. So if we variable C is A plus B, and then we're going to print out C, which will be 4. Then we will declare another variable, which is best practice if you create a variable to specify a type. So a type of a variable could be like an integer, as you probably know, like a number. So you would call it an int, the declaration of the type, and then its name, the name of the variable, right by here. My num equals 3, int my other num equals 5. So we have one variable called my num, which is 3, and another variable which is 5. And I've changed the value of my num. So as you can see, if I go over it, it's highlighted. It'll show you that these are the same. My num is now equal to A, which we defined as 2. So now, if we print out console.writeLine, we'll write this out to the console. Will be my num, which is 3, plus my other num, which is 5. But we changed the value of my num. We changed it to A, which is 2. So this will be 2 plus 5. So this will come out as 7. We declare some other variables down by here. A message, which is a string, which means a string of characters. So text, that's what string means. This is string. The type is characters, message, hello world. It's always in quotation marks. You have to specify its characters in quotation marks there. It'll show you it's in a different color. And then string, my other message, what up? So if we go to console.writeLine, message plus my other message, it'll print off hello world, what up? It'll append them together. You can add strings together. You can add integers together, but you can't add integers and strings. It'll get confused and it'll throw an error, so we won't do that. There are lots of different kinds of variables that you can declare, like a double, which is a floating point integer, a double precision floating point number, pi 3.14. Then console.writeLine pi, it'll just print out 3.14. So I've also got another file here, as you can see, called variables, which is another class, a C# class, a .cs. If we go over there now, you'll see I've declared another variable, a date time. So the type is date time. Today equals datetime.parse. I typed in 01/01/2019. So parse, it'll take that string of characters there in the quotation marks, and it'll parse it into a date time. And today will equal the 1st of the 1st, 2019 as a date time type. And I've also declared another variable, string my name, which in is a string of characters in quotation marks Matthew Finn, and they're both public, so they can be accessed outside of this particular class. So if we go over back to our program.cs, you'll see I've typed in I've created an instance of our variables class, which is just the other one across there. I'll explain like a class is another time, but this is just the basics of it. So I've created an instance of our class variables called vars, and we're going console.writeline vars.today. So that should print off 1st of the 1st 2019 as a date time object, and console.writeline vars.myname. So we're going to variables dot myname, which is Matthew Finn. So if we have a look at what it does, so I'm going to click play up here to play through the program, and there we go. We can see we have, as we expected, console.writeline 2 plus 2, 4, and the next line down, my num plus my other num, 7, then which was it 2 plus 5. Then if we go to the string, hello world, what up, we have next, that's right, my message plus my other message. Then we have pi, when we declared pi, console.writeline pi, 3.14. Then finally, console.writeline vars.today, is 01/01/2019, and it's like date time, so it's got the time there as well. And console.writeline vars.myname, which is Matthew Finn. So you see how that works. Then you can press any key, it'll close it. That's the basics of Visual Studio. I will explain more next time in due course.